Just being a wedding photographer is extremely difficult, and being a business owner in a competitive industry like the wedding photography industry only makes it more difficult. So you really have to differentiate your craft and your portfolio, and one of the ways I've been able to do that and book more high-end weddings and survive the wedding industry is by elevating my flat lay game, and I want to show you all of my tips and tricks in today's video. If you're a wedding photographer, I'm a wedding photographer too. I'm Samia. I post new videos on YouTube every single week for wedding photographers, so make sure you hit that subscribe button to be notified about the new videos, and let's get into today's topic. So flat lays are really important to telling the story of a wedding and a couple. They add a really important sentimental piece to wedding galleries. Everything that's in a flat lay are things that are important to our couples, like their rings, their grandmother's jewelry, their bracelets, their invitation that they invited all their guests to their wedding with. All those things are really part of a narrative that you're telling the story of the wedding. So they're not just random things. We're not just doing details randomly or for funsies. They're not materialistic, and showcasing them in a way that is beautiful and unique to the couple can really add to your services and your experience as a wedding photographer. And I think photographers that are hesitant to really focus on improving their flat lay skills feel like these things are just random, they don't matter, nobody cares. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. Flat lays do evoke emotion. When you put a handwritten letter from the bride or groom to each other in a flat lay, and then they see that all together with all their parts of the wedding, they do evoke a feeling, and they're just as powerful as a first look, in my opinion. So it's not just random stuff that you're just adding into the album. There is power to it and value to it, and that's why I teach on it, and I really believe in them. So there is no other part of the day, there is no place in a wedding to photograph all of these things. So if you don't do flat lays, some of these things don't appear. If you don't have time to do flat lays, you might not get a photo of the bride and groom's wedding rings, engagement ring, or her bouquet by itself on a nice background. So this is like the orchestrated time for things, these stationary things, and if you don't do them, they sometimes don't get photographed because there isn't really like a natural place for you to photograph them once the wedding starts. Okay, so the first thing you need is great lighting. So when it comes to lighting, you really have two different options. You have natural light and artificial light. My go-to is always natural light. If you can, use a window to photograph the flat lay, and make sure you are paying attention to where the window light is casting a shadow on the flat lay. You want the shadows to be toward back. So lighting is one of the most important parts of the flat lay. What about backgrounds? So really when it comes to backgrounds for flat lays, you have three different options. You can go a plain route, you can go a painted route, or you can go a designed or have some sort of pattern play route. And really a lot to think about when it comes to all of those things. I think plain works best if you have a more minimal wedding. A painted backdrop looks best if you have a more of a whimsical or playful and or maybe like an antique looking wedding. And then a designed backdrop or a patterned backdrop really looks looks great if the linens themselves are actually have a pattern at the reception, or it's just a more intricate wedding in general of design at play. As long as you can get that background to match the design of the wedding, I think that would be amazing. Next thing I want to talk about is composition. So when you're photographing a flat lay, you're actually usually standing at the front of it, and it can be kind of hard to see how that flat lay actually looks in photos because you're probably shooting kind of over it. So the easiest thing to do is to take a picture and then of your flat lay, and then look at it and how it's coming up in camera, and then adjust from there, because your eye doesn't always see exactly what the camera sees. And along with that, make sure that what you're seeing is in the same aspect ratio as the final crop. So for me, I deliver in a 4:5 crop, so my aspect ratio inside my camera is 4.5. So make sure that you are shooting with the intention of your final crop, and that's really use that negative space that you see coming up and fill the image. Next thing you need is stuff to style the flat lay, right? So I have a whole list of things on my Amazon storefront that I have gotten all from Amazon, and they're all pretty affordable to get stuff to actually style and just elevate things in a way that looks beautiful and luxurious. See me style and photograph a flat lay in real time, make sure you head to the next video, and I would love to walk you through exactly my thought process and everything I do when I'm styling a flat lay. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you there.